What if I told you that the best leaders avoid difficult conversations entirely? Not by dodging them, but by building the kind of relationships where tough conversations become unnecessary. If you're exhausted from constant performance battles and feedback sessions that don't seem to stick, you're about to discover why the traditional approach to accountability is backwards. By the end of this video, you'll have 3 proven leadership principles that prevent performance issues before they ever need a difficult conversation. Here's what's actually happening in most organizations. Leaders spend enormous amounts of time managing performance issues reactively, waiting for problems to surface, then having uncomfortable conversations that often damage relationships. The traditional management cycle looks like this: set expectations, monitor progress, catch mistakes, deliver tough feedback, repeat. It's exhausting for leaders and demoralizing for teams. And here's the trap. The more you rely on difficult conversations to drive accountability, the more you'll need them. You're treating symptoms instead of building immunity. But there's a fundamentally different approach that transforms how high-performing teams operate. This isn't about new communication techniques or feedback frameworks. It's about 3 core leadership principles that create environments where accountability flows naturally. These principles come from decades of leadership research and real-world application in organizations that consistently outperform their competitors. I'm going to break down exactly how to apply extreme ownership, proactive relationship building, and clarity-driven communication in your leadership practice. And if you want weekly insights like this that change how you lead, hit that subscribe button now. We explore proven leadership strategies every single week. Principle number 1. Practice extreme ownership of team outcomes and relationships. Here's what this means in practice. When something goes wrong on your team, the natural instinct is to identify who dropped the ball. Extreme ownership flips this completely. You start by asking what you, as the leader, could have done differently. Did you provide clear enough expectations? Did you remove obstacles? Did you ensure they had the resources and support needed? This isn't about being a martyr or taking blame for everything. It's about recognizing that as a leader, you have the most control over the environment, systems, and relationships that drive performance. When you own the conditions for success, your team naturally rises to own their individual contributions. The shift is powerful. Instead of managing people, you're managing the ecosystem in which people thrive. Here's how to implement this starting tomorrow. First, in your next one-on-one meeting, instead of reviewing what your team member did or didn't do, discuss what you can do to enable their success. Ask them directly, what obstacles are in your way that I can help remove? Second, when performance issues arise, before addressing the individual, audit your own leadership. Did you provide clarity? Did you check for understanding? Did you create psychological safety for them to ask questions? Third, make this visible to your team. When you openly take ownership of system failures, you model the accountability you want to see. This creates a culture where people feel safe owning their mistakes because they've seen you own yours. Principle 2. Build relationship infrastructure before you need it. Most leaders invest in relationships when problems arise. That's too late. The time to build a bridge is before you need to cross the river. Strong relationships are your performance management infrastructure. They prevent most issues from ever becoming problems. Think of it this way. Every difficult conversation you avoid having to have is a dividend paid by relationship capital you invested earlier. When you genuinely understand someone's goals, motivations, challenges, and communication preferences, you can spot misalignment early and address it conversationally rather than confrontationally. You're not catching people doing things wrong, you're staying connected enough to help them self-correct. Here's your relationship building action plan. Block dedicated time each week, at least 30 minutes per direct report, for relationship-focused conversations, not status updates. Use this time to understand the person, not just the productivity. Ask questions like, what does success look like for you this quarter? What professional challenges are you facing? What personal factors might impact your work that I should be aware of? How do you prefer to receive feedback? What support would be most valuable from me? Which of these principles is resonating most with your current leadership situation? Drop it in the comments below, and if this is shifting your perspective on accountability, hit that like button. Document these insights and reference them regularly. When you know that someone is dealing with a sick parent or pursuing a professional certification, you can adjust expectations and support accordingly. Most performance issues aren't about capability or motivation, they're about context you don't have. Build relationships that give you that context before problems emerge. Principle 3. Replace complexity with radical clarity in all communication. Unclear expectations are the root cause of most performance issues. When people genuinely don't know what's expected, how can they be accountable? Yet leaders consistently underestimate how much clarity degrades between their mind and their team's understanding. Here's the clarity principle. If you can't measure it or observe it, you haven't communicated it clearly enough. Vague terms like soon, quality, professional, or better mean different things to different people. Your job as a leader is to translate general expectations into specific, observable behaviors and outcomes. Instead of "I need this soon," say "I need this by Thursday at 3 p.m. Instead of "improve quality," say "reduce error rate below 2% and ensure all deliverables pass our 3-point checklist before submission." But clarity isn't just about expectations, it's about creating communication systems that prevent misunderstanding. Here's your clarity implementation framework. First, adopt the 3 C's for every important communication: clear, concise, connected. Clear means specific and observable. Concise means no jargon or unnecessary complexity. Connected means directly tied to individual or team goals. Second, always confirm understanding, not just acknowledgement. Don't ask, "Does that make sense?" Ask, "What are the next 3 specific actions you'll take based on what we just discussed?" Third, document key expectations and decisions in writing. Verbal communication degrades quickly in memory. A simple email summary after important conversations ensures everyone has the same reference point. Here's the advanced move. Teach your team to ask for clarity. Make it psychologically safe, even rewarded, to say, "I need more specific guidance on what success looks like here." When people feel comfortable asking for clarity, you catch misalignment before work begins, not after it's done wrong. If you're serious about leading like top executives, subscribe now and hit that notification bell. We break down practical leadership principles like this every single week that you can implement immediately. Here's your complete 30-day implementation roadmap. Week 1. Start practicing extreme ownership. In every situation, ask yourself what you could have done differently before addressing individual performance. Make this thought process visible to your team. Week 2. Begin building relationship infrastructure. Schedule dedicated relationship time with each team member, 30 minutes minimum, focused on understanding them as people, not just producers. Week 3. Implement your clarity communication system. Audit your recent communications for vague language, and commit to the 3 C's, clear, concise, connected, for all important messages. Week 4. Measure the shift. Track how many difficult conversations you're having compared to previous months. The numbers should decline. Now let's address what will get in your way. The biggest obstacle? Old habits. You'll default to waiting for problems, and then addressing them reactively, because that's what you've always done. Combat this by setting calendar reminders for proactive check-ins. The second obstacle? Time pressure. You'll think, "I don't have time for all these relationship conversations." But you're already spending that time. It's just going into damage control instead of prevention. The third obstacle? Team members who test the new approach with skepticism. They've seen leadership initiatives come and go. Your response? Consistency. Keep showing up with ownership, relationship focus, and clarity for 30 days straight. Behavior change takes time, but it compounds. Share your implementation progress in the comments. Our community of leaders supports each other through these transformations, and real-world applications help everyone learn faster. Before you implement these accountability transformation principles, help other leaders discover this approach. The frameworks we just covered, extreme ownership, relationship infrastructure, and clarity communication, are exactly what separate leaders who prevent problems from those who constantly fight fires. Hit like if this changed how you think about difficult conversations, subscribe for more practical leadership principles every week, and share this with a manager or leader who's stuck in the reactive accountability cycle. Which principle will you implement first? Extreme ownership, relationship building, or clarity communication? Drop it in the comments below and join leaders who are transforming their approach to accountability with these proven principles.
This is the C-Suite Playbook, where Fortune 500 strategies meet actionable insights. Your competitive advantage starts here.